All right, y'all. Welcome to the third and final part of this accidental series. I tried to give this to y'all all in one part, but it just didn't work out that way because it was so long. But I had to give y'all all the details, and I still didn't tell y'all everything I could have, but I gave y'all the most important parts, and hopefully, y'all were sticking with me through my little storytelling adventure. But this is the last part. I'm gonna quit my yapping here, and y'all let me know in the comments what y'all thought of this story, okay? All right. I was speechless. I was speechless. I was like, oh my gosh, what? Because, like, you know, I was, first of all, my head hurt already. My head was banging. The minute I sat down, my head started hurting because, like, the power of code switching is real. Like, having a code switch already in general is real. But, like, code switching, dealing with this type of chaos, and then having a fake laugh in the midst of it is like another thing. I cannot believe someone who takes care of other people and their mental well being would get in a car and drive. And, I know people drive impaired every day. I know people are always drunk driving or driving under the influence of something, and that is their business. But why would you tell somebody, especially someone you just met? And I'm also a health professional. Like, you know that about me. You know where I come from and what I did. So, did you think, "Oh, like I can relate?" I can't. I don't. I won't, and I will never. Nope. I'm very responsible, and even if I weren't, you would never know that. But I don't support you. I don't agree with you, and I'm disgusted because you could have cost your coworker, your other employee, their life, or someone else your own. You could have done a multitude of things that could not have been taken back. And while I'm glad that, everyone's okay, disgusting. Disgusting. And if you ever see this video, I'm not sorry for what I'm saying. I am speaking the truth, and you do know that I'm speaking the truth. And it's not anything against you as a human being. I'm sure that, I'm nothing against you as a human being. But I had to tell this story because it just didn't seem like real life, Like, it just didn't seem like real life at all. And I know that you feel, or she may feel, that this is a quirky little tale, but like that's a crime. That's a crime. It's illegal. And it's not right. And tell that to your friends, not your brand new, fresh out employee on their first day in the first few hours that they have stepped into your building. You are lacking in judgment and accountability. Like, that was my moment to leave, and I should have walked out. I should have walked out at that moment. But again, I stayed. I stayed just to make it to the end of the day. Just to make it to the end of the day. Y'all. We've talked about the bulk of this. We really have. And there's more I could say, but this video will be 6 hours long if I keep going. If I recount every detail of my day, because every detail of the day was insane, every detail of the day was insane, we will be here all night. And truth be told, it's not worth that much energy. It's not. But I just wanted to tell you a little bit about it. So, end of the day finally is here. There's an hour left, and I'm like, dang. Like, can this clock move forward? I'm tired of being polite. I'm tired of hearing this person talk about the same 5 topics that they have mentioned all day. And whatever. So she takes it upon herself to show me how to open the mailbox. And, okay. So I learned how to open their mailbox. And then she proceeds to tell me how to sort the mail and all that kind of stuff. And then proceeds to tell me, like, to open all the mail. And I'm a little confused by that because, the mail is addressed to other people, but per her words, if it comes to her business and they're her employee, she is able to open it. And so that's her business. What she likes to do, she can do. But me, I don't want to do that. And I will not. And I will not. So after that, I'm thinking maybe she's going to be like, "Oh, this has been a long day, do you want to go ahead and leave early? Tomorrow we can figure out what we're going to do." I'm thinking, that because there's what more else can you say today? We didn't do anything on the computer that I need to do for the job except for show me how to send a message. And then like there was nothing done that really was about my job. And I understand like for some places your first day is just to like observe, maybe go through like some modules or some training. Like I understand that first days are not always hands-on, but I really feel like in this instance it could have been hands-on because everything else made zero sense to me, at least. But she did not offer the option to leave early. She did not offer a chance to go home and decompress. She did not offer to even give me a break. She just said, "Let's keep going." And alas, we did. So, just like what can I say? Y'all, it is Black History Month first and foremost, but this instance, friends, okay. So she again, I want to preface this by saying I did know that there was some level of cleaning or tidying, let's be clear, tidying involved with the job, like watering the plants and turning off the coffee maker and dusting off the desks. Like I was aware of that, and that's not atypical for an office position like this. She did tell me that I was going to have to clean the bathroom, which she mentioned earlier in the day. However, um the way in which she went about this at the end of the day was kind of frustrating to me, um because I didn't appreciate the way it was done. So at the end of the day, she's showing me all the supplies in the office. Here's the staplers and the highlighters and the folders and all the things that you need to be successful. Then she takes me back to like the cleaning supplies. Here's the mop, here's the vacuum. Just showing me where they are. Not necessarily telling me that I need to go ahead and clean now. And I wasn't, not that I had an issue with necessarily cleaning, but I did not think that she was going to make me do it in this moment, especially the way that she did. I thought she was just giving me a grand tour of the office space and where everything was. So when it came to the time to do these things, I would know where it was at. So she's in the closet where the broom and the vacuum are and a Swiffer mop, right? So she grabs the Swiffer mop and she's holding it out like this. And she's not even looking. She's holding it out like this, right? Holding it out. And I'm looking at her and I take about 10-15 seconds. I don't grab it right away because I was confused. I thought maybe she was holding it to like show me what was deeper in the closet or something. My mind didn't click that she was holding it out for me to grab it at that moment. So I was a little confused. So it clicks in my mind that she wants me to grab the mop. And so I grab it. And then she's like, "There's some Swiffer, I can't say the word Swiffer. That's a hard word for me to say. So, there's some Swiffer wipes underneath that cabinet there. You can take those and mop the back." Like, or no, I don't know if she said that. No, she didn't say that. She's like, there's some Swiffer wipes underneath the cabinet and gloves and soap and whatever else you need. And then I think she's like, like, I think at that point she gives me direction to maybe mop the back, or maybe I put two and two together. I wasn't quite sure like what it was. I can't even remember. I was so overstimulated all day. But it was a gesture of her holding it out that way towards me without even looking at me, without even saying, here's the mop. I would like for you to end the day by going ahead and mopping the bathroom, or like, we all clean around here. Like, I would love for you to, clean the bathroom today. And like, you and your coworker can figure out how you guys are going to do so and so. Like, I respectfully, that's the way to do it. Like, hey, here's the mop. I would like for you to mop the bathroom if you don't mind. Like something like that. But she just held it out in silence, and it felt like I was the help. Like something about it just gave me real the gesture. The gesture really just gave me like I was the help. And here's the thing, y'all. When you're working for smaller companies, there is no HR. And even if there is HR isn't in your favor. HR is for the interest of the company and what's going to protect them. So, I want you to be aware that there was no HR in this case because it is a small company and she is the manager, owner, supervisor, CEO, captain, and driver of the boat, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing to report microaggressions or this toxic or hostile behavior to, because that is exactly what it is. So I clean the bathroom, and whatever, and I'm ready to go at this point, and I'm talking with the other employees there, and I'm just like, this is interesting. I'm not sure I'll be back, guys. And the other employees are like, okay, well, think about it, and if not, we'll see you tomorrow. Like, that's the whole spiel. And I had definitely made up my mind I wasn't going to come back, because I felt like I tolerated a lot of disrespect throughout the day. I felt like my intelligence was undermined. I felt like, you're speaking about other employees in a way that's incredibly insane. You're talking about your drug use or misuse of prescription medication, if it even is prescribed medication. You're talking about your clients that pay you to see you for therapy. You're talking about people who bring income into your business. You overshare with me your financial struggles and financial wins, and how much money people owe you, and how much things cost, and what you can and cannot afford. You use profanity in an extremely disrespectful and unprofessional way. It's disorganized, unprepared. The training was nothing, redundant, overcomplicated. There were so many red flags about a position like this, and I know that there's someone out there who may be in a job like this and not even realize that they are worth so much more. And while I'm willing to take a pay cut and willing to do jobs that may not be the simplest or the easiest, I'm not willing to tolerate a completely hostile, unethical place of business. And this is all in day one. That's the problem. This is all in day one. I should have never came, based off of the name misspelling multiple times. I should have left when she didn't tell me my hours. I definitely should have walked out at the Ativan story. But the way that I was handed the mop in a completely condescending and belittling way was like my breaking. Well, I was already broken, babe. I was already broken. So it wasn't my breaking point, but it was kind of like my cherry on top. Like, you absolutely do not deserve me as an employee, because I know my value. I know my worth. I bring a lot to the table, and I will be your most loyal, your strongest, most dedicated, your most capable employee ever. But I need to be treated right in return in order for you to get that from me. And if I'm not being treated right, I will absolutely move around, because I value myself above everything else about a job, and my mental health and my well-being. And I thought by me getting a job working for a therapy office where mental health is the key, that I would have positive mental health. I think this would have just taken it out of me, honey. Out of me. And the most interesting part is I have a friend who is in a similar line of work as the person I was working for. And this person also knows her. And we just had a really good chat about our situation. So it's, the world's very small, And I didn't even know until yesterday that my friend knew this person as well. But the experience was also a very similar experience between them, and they worked with this person more than a decade ago. So if it's been more than a decade and the behavior is still the same, it may never change. And that's okay. If that's, again, her business, she can run it how she chooses to. And I don't want to say anything specific about her or her business or where it's located or anything about it, because I don't want to dox anybody. And I don't want, my video to be the reason why her business fails or anything like that. I want her to keep being her, and I want her to keep having days that she deserves, and I want her to, hopefully learn from her experience. And that's all that I can really say about that. So after experiencing a day like that on my first day, I decided that I needed to, resign from the position, and I wanted to resign respectfully. I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to say anything unkind, and I didn't want to really give her any feedback, simply because I didn't feel like it was worth my time. But also, you know, I had the impression that even if I left feedback in my resignation letter, it would fall on deaf ears. So I just decided not to do that. So this morning, at 7:50, an hour before my shift, I send my resignation letter in, and I keep it very cute, very short and sweet. I say, this is Brooklyn, or, dear so-and-so, I'm resigning from my position effective immediately. Thank you for the opportunity. I wish you the best. That's it. That's all I said. And I went about my day. I have nothing else, nothing more to really say than I'm not coming back. And that's it. So I'm going about my day, and then I get a phone call from her, and immediately I was like, I'm not going to answer it, because there's nothing for us to talk about, at all. And so at that point, she leaves a voicemail, and the voicemail was like, hey, this is so and so calling from the company. I'm a bit puzzled, about your resignation, and the tone was a little bit like, I don't want to say flippant, but like a little bit like matter of factly, and it was like, you seemed to like being here, so I'm a bit puzzled. And then she directly asked me for feedback. She said, I would love some feedback, so please call me and let me know what's going on. She said, like, in an email or call me back. And then she ended the voicemail with a weird sentence, and it was like, we're known to hire people of different backgrounds, and then trailed off. So I'm not quite sure what she meant, if she was referring to my background. Like, I'm from I don't really know, but I took it she was talking about me. And so I made sure to, let her know that. So at first, I was just going to let it be. I'm not going to say anything. It's like, what is the point of even giving her said feedback? But after talking with a couple of my friends, I was like, you know what? Let's give her the feedback that no one probably has ever given her. But let's and let me tell y'all this about me. I love reading people. But I love reading people professionally, because the one thing you won't do is play with me. And I am a huge advocate for speaking up for myself, because I have gone many years of my life not doing that. And I decided to never do that again. So while I tried to keep it cute with her, she didn't want me to be cute. She wanted me to give her a full audit on the situation. So let's talk about it. Let me read you guys my resignation letter. And it's long, it's lengthy, but I feel like sometimes length is necessary. It is necessary, because, again, I feel like this is feedback that she really could use to improve her business and herself. And I also feel like if she's not aware of these things because people don't want to bring it to her attention, I have nothing to lose, because I'm no longer employed by you. So, what is it? And I'm not going to need this as a reference source, even though I was perfect. I was very professional all day and I handled my business. So you can't really say anything about me as an employee. But despite that, I'm gonna pretend like this never happened, essentially, you know? So I'm going to I'm gonna let y'all in on what I said. Okay. All right, y'all. We got my trusty iPad here because we have to. I'm gonna read it to you. Okay. So I address that person by their name and I say, I received your voicemail regarding my resignation, and per your request, I'm sending this email to provide clarity on why I decided this position was not the right fit for me. From the start, there were multiple red flags regarding the professionalism and organization of this role, which became even more apparent on my first and only day. I gave numbers, guys, like I broke it down into sections with titles and everything. It is truly a dissertation. It is an audit. It is a full gathering. Let's get into number one. Number one, lack of communication and disorganization. I had to repeatedly request that my name be corrected in both communications and official documents, yet my concerns were ignored multiple times. She never acknowledged ever that she was spelling my name wrong and took the easy way out and said autocorrect, as if it takes more than 2 seconds before you hit send to ensure that the recipient's name is spelled correctly. But I digress. You blamed it on autocorrect and failed to acknowledge or correct the issue until after I sent multiple messages asking you to do so, highlighting the importance of my name. While this initially rubbed me the wrong way, because ensuring you spell someone's name correctly is basic human respect, I chose to give you the benefit of the doubt. Additionally, I was never given clear communication about my expected work hours. I was only informed of my start time 1 hour before my first shift, which is unprofessional and disrespectful of my time. However, you say that airplane mode is to blame. Most, if not all, jobs provide an outline of the hours they will work, that like a new employee will work, and things like breaks and benefits prior to when a new hire starts. I don't know if y'all ever had a job where that hasn't been provided, but I have not. Not even like when I worked at Target, like when I was a nanny. I always knew what benefits, if I got any breaks, how long they were, and what hours I'm going to work were prior to my first day, if not on the first day, you know? On my first day, no information was provided about lunch breaks, how long we were entitled to, if they were paid, or how they were even scheduled. Instead, you insisted on buying everyone lunch, left for an extended period to retrieve it, and then immediately placed us all in a meeting where we were expected to presumably eat during the discussion. This did not constitute a formal lunch break, and the lack of clarity around break policies was another example of the disorganization within this workplace. That was just number one, y'all. Number two, job misrepresentation. The responsibilities described in the hiring process did not align with the actual expectations of the role. I was never provided with an official job description, and during my first day, I was informed that I would be required to wear multiple hats, a phrase that is often used to justify excessive and unpaid responsibilities. Number three, toxic and unprofessional work environments. Within hours of arriving, I was subjected to blatantly inappropriate conversations regarding employees, clients, and even a deceased client. Out of respect for the client, I will not speak on what was said or anything like that, but just know it was out of pocket. It was shocking to hear a licensed therapist and I want to say she's highly decorated also. Highly decorated licensed therapist openly mock, insult, and belittle the very people she is meant to be helping. Additionally, The way former employees were spoken about raised serious concerns about how staff is treated in this workplace. I had no prior knowledge of these individuals, yet you still refer to past staff members who were gone before I was even hired as dumbasses and icky. I also witnessed you speak kindly to someone on the phone, only to immediately hang up and call them an asshole to me. The crazy part is like she didn't even pick up on my vibe. Like she didn't pick up at all. That like all I was saying was like, oh, like I had nothing to say because why would I? Like I'm just this is awkward and uncomfortable. She didn't even pick up that like I was not vibing the same way that I guess she was, and that was weird. Um, Even worse, I witnessed you mock a client's mental health struggles, referring to them as mentally ill and a basket case. I'm going to skip this sentence because I don't want to discuss this in the video, but just know she was wrong, out of pocket. As a licensed therapist, this behavior is not only unethical, but directly contradicts the values and integrity expected in this field. Because what are you doing, Ms. Girl? What are you doing? Number 4, a lack of transparency about pay and benefits. I was given no clear information regarding benefits, despite being told during the interview that the position included full benefits and PTO. Normally, new hires receive their benefits package prior to or on their first day, as I mentioned before, yet absolutely nothing was provided. This is basic stuff about accepting a job. It's my fault for not asking for that prior to, but again, small business, giving some grace, and also thinking maybe they do things differently here. So let me find out, like let me just find out. Okay. Number 5, insulting pay for the responsibilities expected. For the level of responsibility, disorganization, and additional tasks required in this role, the offered pay is severely and insultingly low. I took a nearly $20 an hour pay cut for this position under the assumption that it would be a fulfilling, structured role and that allowed me to help others while maintaining a better work-life balance. Instead, just within one day, I felt more overwhelmed, overstimulated, and stressed than I had in my previous, far more demanding role. I'm sorry, I keep pushing my glasses up. I gotta go back and get them adjusted, y'all. New glasses. I gotta get them fixed for my face. We gonna get it right. Number 6, unnecessary overcomplication of the role. Instead of streamlining processes, there appeared to be an intentional overcomplication of basic tasks, making the role needlessly stressful, chaotic, and inefficient. This pattern was evident before I was even hired, as the interview process was unnecessarily extensive for the position and pay being offered. A phone interview, followed by a Zoom interview, followed by an in-person interview, all for a $17.50 an hour role, was excessive and unnecessary. For a position with no real complexity or specialized skills required, this level of screening does not justify the salary being offered. Let these jobs know. How many of y'all have degrees? Bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and these jobs like, oh, entry level, right? And you get in here and you have thousands of dollars of student loan debt for the degree that you rightfully earned. And these jobs want to pay you 15, 17, 18 an hour to do your master, bachelor, associate level skills. Let them know. Let them know. When you turn down a job because it's low paying, give the reason why you're turning it down. Tell them this job is like it's not commensurate or whatever the word is with my experience. It's not. Let them know. Let them know. All right. Number 7, my intelligence was insulted. Throughout the day, I felt my intelligence was continuously undermined. I was unnecessarily taught how to complete basic routine tasks, such as checking a mailbox, how to open mail, and using standard office computer programs as if I had no prior experience in a professional setting. Additionally, when you hired me, I clearly stated my expected pay rate, which was already lower than what I have earned in the past, but what I consider to be fair for this line of work. Instead, I was lowballed with the justification that I would have so much to learn and that my pay could be reevaluated in 90 days once I proved myself in the role. I accepted this position again in the hopes that it would be fulfilling and also trying to give you the benefit of doubt. This is my favorite part. This is my favorite part. Okay, ready? Okay. After one day in this position, I can say with absolute certainty that I could do this job with my eyes closed and could have learned everything necessary within a single day. And I don't mean that to be like messed up, but honest to God, like I said earlier, I already knew how to do a lot of the things because of previous work. It was just different systems, and I can learn systems very quickly, easily. I'm a very quick learner, and I really do mean that. So what I'm saying is how I really feel. There was no complexity to justify underpaying me. I am not inexperienced, I am not incapable, and I am certainly not unintelligent. I am a highly skilled, board certified professional who has worked in far more complex roles than this, and the assumption that I needed to prove myself before earning what I was already worth from the beginning was not only unfair, insulting, and entirely inaccurate. Unfair, insulting, and entirely inaccurate. Number 8, unprofessional disclosure of personal finances and information. Throughout the day, I was given excessive and unnecessary details about the company's and your personal financial situation, none of which was appropriate or relevant to my role. Discussions about who shortchanged you, what you can or cannot afford, and financial struggles within the business should never be disclosed to employees, especially on their first day. This level of disclosure was not only unprofessional, but also highly inappropriate. No employee should feel burdened with information about their employer's financial status, especially when it is completely unrelated to their responsibilities. Additionally, while you may have framed it as a humorous story, it was highly inappropriate to openly discuss your misuse of Ativan and then admit to driving while impaired with another person in the vehicle. Not only that, but the other person being her coworker, actually her employee, someone she employs. You stated that after taking more than your usual dosage, you did not remember anything and yet still got behind the wheel. Regardless of how you may personally view the situation, this was a reckless decision that could have cost someone their life. While I'm glad that no one was harmed, your willingness to openly share this in a professional setting only further demonstrates a blatant disregard for safety, judgment, and accountability. Number 9, at the end of my shifts, I was handed a mop with your arm hyperextended to me as if I were the help. You did not say, "Here you go," or "I would like you to go ahead and clean the bathroom," or anything that warranted that particular action of just extending her arm out. While I understand that some general tidying may be expected in office environments, the manner in which this was done was demeaning and inappropriate. This situation felt disrespectful, belittling, and unprofessional. Number 10, the background comment in your voicemail. that I how I interpreted it, To be very clear, my resignation has nothing to do with my background, as you implied in your voicemail. Anyone, regardless of background, would take issue with one, a job being misrepresented in the hiring process, two, a work environment that is toxic, unprofessional, and disrespectful, and three, being expected to tolerate unethical behavior from leadership. This is not about me. This is about the environment and the leadership of this workplace. And lastly, my closing paragraph that I titled Final Thoughts. All of these issues occurred within a single day of work, in the first few hours at that, which in itself speaks volumes. If so many red flags were apparent on the first day, actually prior to the first day, but really on the first day, I can only imagine how much worse things would have become over time. Staying in this role for any extended period would have been a disservice to myself, both professionally and personally. And I refuse to continue in an environment that lacks structure, professionalism, and basic workplace respect. For these reasons, I stand by my decision to resign immediately. I hope that moving forward, you reflect on these issues and work toward fostering an environment that prioritizes professionalism, transparency, and integrity, qualities that any workplace should uphold. Best, Brooklyn. Now, y'all, I know this video was long, and I know it was a lot. I gave you 9 hours and some change of tea in this time. So you know what? You're welcome. You're welcome. But moral of the story, y'all, moral of the freaking story is like jobs they will absolutely try it. They will try it if you let them. If you let them. And my biggest thing for myself as I've been on this channel is to not take that from anybody, friends, family, whoever. Jobs, don't take the disrespect. Don't put yourself in situations that are uncomfortable. Or if you do end up in one, don't stay too long. Me, baby, I'm out the dough. I'm out the dough. Because I can't. And the thing is, like, I wanted to be short and sweet with my resignation, but she specifically called me and wanted feedback. And I felt like you're asking for it. So I let the floodgates open. And it was not my intent to be mean. And I was very, very careful with choosing my words and my message to be clear and direct, but not aggressive or mean, but literally providing straight facts. I didn't say anything that was what I felt to be overly emotional. I didn't really speak about how I truly felt about all of it, but more so the reasons for what made me want to step away in just one day of work. That was a very stressful position to be put in. It was very overstimulating. And I need to see my own therapist to decompress from that. Now, in my opinion, if there are red flags before you even start, don't even go. If your gut, which my gut was telling me, was that this wasn't going to be an experience, don't go. I'm glad because I went because I could tell you guys about it, but it was a waste of my day. I could have done something far more productive, I'm sure, that day. And, she wasn't worth the time that I even, not she, but the environment, everything was not worth the time that I spent. And I think that it's important to recognize that not every job is going to be a good fit or a good environment. And we have total autonomy to not stay in stuff that is not working for us, period. And so, don't ignore the red flags. Trust yourself, trust your gut. And, I'm sure many are wondering, well, what are you going to do now, girl? You ain't got no job. Y'all right. I don't have a job. But I have some things cooking on the horizon, and I am fully in belief that whatever's meant for me will come down the chain. I'll get something. And even if I gotta go work at McDonald's, I'm not above that. I'll do it. And while I need to make a certain amount of money to maintain my lifestyle and my bills. At the same time, I also am very aware of how much certain jobs can pay and what they can do. And this wasn't an issue of not being able to pay me. It was an issue of not wanting to pay me, but wanting to utilize my skill set. And that's an issue. I'm not going to go to McDonald's and expect McDonald's to give me $20, right? I know they can only pay whatever they pay. So I'm cognizant of that. It is not that. And I believe that in roles that I have experience in, I should be receiving an extensive experience, mind you. I should be receiving the higher end of the pay scale that you do have because I have that. And I do not believe what I was asking for was too much. And in fact, I should have asked for more. And truth be told, I may not even get paid for the time that I spent on this day because a lot of jobs will do that though. They won't even pay you, even though it's unethical, illegal. They won't even pay you because, oh, well, they weren't even here long enough to get set up on payroll. They walked out on the first day. So that was some free time for them. And, so I'm not even expecting to even get a paycheck for my whatever amount of time I was there. And that's cool. But, I'm just going to keep being me. I'm going to keep going to interviews and whatever strikes, and hopefully it's a good fit for me long term. And that's all I can really ask for. That's all I can really do. So, you know, who knows? I really who really knows? I hope in my next video that I put out, I can tell you an update about where I am or what I'm doing. But truth be told, I don't know. But I'm not worried. I'm good. I won't be homeless. Nothing like that. We're good. In that aspect of things. So I'm very lucky and very grateful and very blessed for the resources I have around me, for my husband and everything like that. All my friends, everything. I'm good. I'm happy, grateful, all that. And to anyone out there in their job search, it is hard out here to get a job, and I wish you the best. And I honestly know that sometimes we have to settle for things we don't want so we can get to better things. And if you're in that position, do what you got to do, but don't get complacent. People love to get complacent. Don't do that. Get up when you can, move around when you can, use your stepping stones to become who you're supposed to be and actualize the things you need to do, because nothing is worse than staying somewhere that you're not supposed to be. And if you're afraid, don't be so afraid, because one of my favorite quotes ever, y'all know I love quotes, is the time will pass anyway. People are like, oh, I don't want to go back to school. It'll take 4 years. You're going to have 4 years of your life anyway, right? 4 years of your life are going to pass anyway. Why not spend that 4 years going back to school for what you wanted? Or I don't want to start a business because I don't know if people will like it. Well, who cares? Someone will like it. I seen a girl on TikTok selling keychains that look like butts, like booties. People be buying them, you know? And it's no shade to her business. Like she got she has her audience. So don't feel like there's nothing that you can't do. Someone will like it. Even if you don't have a large customer base, there's someone who will buy it. And if it gets you closer to experiencing happiness and peace and fulfillment, do it, because the time is gonna pass anyway. So me, in this time that I have between unemployment and finding my next job, I am going to be spending time on myself and taking care of myself. I'm gonna keep my diet together. I did slip up, y'all, and I did eat some of them Girl Scout cookies, and more than I was supposed to. But at least I only bought one box. I didn't go crazy. And the scale didn't even notice. The scale didn't even notice I ate them cookies. So we good. We good. But for real, like, I'm gonna spend my time focusing on myself, getting myself together, and that's gonna be what happens. And I truly believe that what's in alignment with myself, what I deserve, will come to me, and it'll come in the right time. So I'm gonna exercise patience, I'm gonna exercise compassion, and I'm going to exercise self-care. And that's it. Take care of me, and the universe will deliver when it's ready to. So That's all I can really say. But I hope y'all enjoyed this little story time. I want to hear y'all story times about the worst job you've ever had or anything crazy like that. Please share. And if you want more workplace or any type of story times, let me know because I got some stories I could tell. For real. But you know, I appreciate you all. I appreciate all the feedback on my previous videos. I appreciate the love, the support. If there's any kind of content that you want to hear or a video idea that you would love to see from me, please let me know. I'm happy to jump on it and provide that if you're interested. But thanks so much. Don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next one. Thank you so much. And again, like I always say, I know y'all getting hooked on me. Hooked on Brooklyn. I can't steal that from her. Never mind. What's our theme song, y'all? I gotta get a theme song. Hooked on Brooklyn. Hooked on. I don't know. I'm gonna think of something. But anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. I've been talking your ear off for the longest time in the world. So I will really, really this time for real. See y'all in the next one. I love you. Bye.